Man, it seems like Shannon Sharpe ain't keeping that same energy. He ain't keeping it real. Y'all know what Shannon Sharpe been doing, man. Shannon Sharpe really been glazing over Caitlin Clark, man, and been very boisterous and been just really pom-pom, rah-rah over Caitlin Clark. But before we get off in today's podcast, tell a friend to tell a friend. Man, Shannon Sharpe, man, ever since he did that interview with Cat Williams, man, he been moving a little different, man. Shannon Sharpe, you know, he left Fox Sports and Undisputed when he was with Skip Bayless, signed on with ESPN and Stephen A. Smith. You know, he got his podcast, Club Shay Shay, and then he got Nightcap with Ocho Cinco. But ever since he's left Fox Sports, man, he been moving a little different, man. And, you know, some of his behavior, man, is clown behavior, man. And a lot of them comedians, you know, they calling Shannon out. But Shannon has been very boisterous over the one Caitlin Clark. I mean, he goes to extra lengths to be very vocal about things that are taking place against Caitlin Clark that he saw in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark's rookie season. And y'all remember the incident between Caitlin Clark and Skylar Diggins when it was a timeout called on the floor. Caitlin Clark was walking, you know, toward the bench to pump up the crowd, and Skylar Diggins was having no parts of it, and she bumped into her. And Shannon Sharpe was very boisterous on Nightcap with Ocho Cinco. He's going crazy, like talking about, you know, y'all saw her speed up. You know, she did that intentionally. Why she hating on Caitlin Clark? And, you know, he made it a big storyline. Then he goes on First Take with all the women, Molly Karam, Monica McNutt, Shanae Abumakwe. I mean, he really let these women have it over Caitlin Clark. Like, he basically is going at these women, trying to belittle these women on national television over Caitlin Clark, talking about, nah, Molly, you know, making Molly feel bad. At one time, him and Stephen A. Smith jumped on Molly so bad, like I felt bad for Molly, but sometimes Molly, as a moderator, sometimes you got to stay as a moderator. You know, she don't let people finish their soliloquy. She be cutting them off, and they got to jump in and like, hold up, Molly, you know, let me speak. I remember one time Dominique Foxworth was on there breaking something down, and Molly just cut him off, and he didn't even want to finish. That's how distraught he was. But Shannon Sharpe been very protective and very vocal over Caitlin Clark. Anytime you touch Caitlin Clark, Shannon Sharpe go out of his ways, talk about, why are y'all touching her? That's intentional. That warrants a suspension and things like that. So like I said, we saw what happened with Skylar Diggins and Caitlin Clark. And what happened was she bumped Caitlin Clark. And what happened was, you know, Shannon Sharpe went to great lengths to try to, you know, say some things. And I just disagree with the way, you know, Shannon Sharpe was acting. And we're going to take a look at an incident that happened between Skylar Diggins and Caitlin Clark. But then the reason why I say Shannon's not keeping that same energy, in last night's playoff game, elimination game between Connecticut and the Indiana Fever, one Caitlin Clark deliberately just shoves DeWanna Bonner for no reason. But Shannon Sharpe hasn't talked about that. He's not keeping that same energy. He hasn't even touched on it. Nobody has touched on it. That's the stuff that they sweep under the rug with Caitlin Clark. You know, anything that she does, they condone that. But when somebody does something against Caitlin Clark, they go out of their ways to make it vocal and talk about it and make it a storyline and create their own narrative. So what happened was, you know, Caitlin Clark thought DeWanna Bonner fouled her on a three-pointer. She got up. DeWanna Bonner was walking, and she just deliberately shoved her away. That's like the same thing that happened when they played the Atlanta Dream, when she hard fouled Jordan Canada from behind, almost took her head off. They didn't even go to replay to review it. They swept that under the rug. They didn't make that a storyline. But when Angel Reese came from behind and hit Caitlin Clark in the head, they made it a storyline, talking about all Angel's hating on her. She tried to take her out. So let's take a look at the two plays that transpired, and then let's take a listen to how Shannon Sharpe made it boisterous and made it known on Nightcap with the incident between Skylar Diggins and Caitlin Clark. Let's take a look. They don't have a problem with that, though, do they? Don't have a problem with that.
But Ocho, let me ask you this. When I just saw Asia go off, ain't nobody walking into bumping into her.
Ain't nobody finna bump into Asia. Asia don't play that. Come on now. You know
they ain't bumping into Stewie.
But you know who?
My thing. If I'm Caitlin Clark,
you know not to.
If I'm Caitlin Clark, I'd have told Skylar Diggins, get your coat, your brim, and get on out of our gym. Get your coat, your hat, and leave.
Get on out of our gym. I like that. I like that. That's a good one.
She don't bump into me. Oh, I'm going right, get that thing hot. Come on, get hot. People.
Where's that same energy, man?
I'm getting the hype.
Yeah, I don't think she got that in her. She not. I mean, she's a dog through her style of play. Through her play, she's a dog. Man. I don't think she has that trash.
Man, y'all stop this foolishness. Y'all see the woman speed up. Y'all see her. Caitlin Clark is getting the crowd and going. Y'all see Skylar Diggins speed up to make contact with her. Stop this. Y'all mad because that corn-fed Iowa girl busting y'all ass.
Now, y'all heard what Shannon had to say. You see how he was glazing over Caitlin Clark on that incident, but never said nothing about what Caitlin Clark did to DeWanna Bonner. That's why I said Shannon Sharpe, man, he's not keeping the same energy, and he's been moving different, man. You know, the latest episode, you know, him getting caught on IG Live, you know, with a female going to Pound Town and talking about, you know, he threw his phone on the bed and IG Live went live on its own. Right now, some people think that you can't trust what Shannon's saying now, man. Shannon has a lot of cover-ups, man. And, you know, what he's been doing and covering up for Caitlin Clark and going at these women on First Take on national television, man, it's a disgrace to see, man. I mean, he's going after his own, but he's going in defense of Caitlin Clark, but hasn't went in defense of Jordan Canada or DeWanna Bonner. So Shannon, man, he's been moving real different. And a lot of people saying Shannon is showing a lot of clown behavior, man. And it's sad to see, man. Everybody's favorite uncle has changed. Ever since he did that interview, like I said, with Cat Williams, he's been moving different, man. He think he's untouchable, man. And the thing about it is the way he just talks about the WNBA and not giving nobody else. No, he don't talk about nobody but Caitlin Clark. He don't give nobody else their just dues or their flowers. Anything that happens to Caitlin Clark, Shannon Sharpe was the first one with his pom-poms out and his popcorn, shaking it up all over the place, man. And, you know, things that happen through basketball and it happens to these other women, he don't want to touch on it. But when it comes to Caitlin, he'll touch on it, man. Shannon, man, you moving sad, man. You moving sad, man. It's unfortunate. That's the way it is. I'm glad we ain't got to deal with this mess no more because the Indiana Fever season's over. Caitlin Clark is on vacation. She's in Cancun chilling. So this is the last time I talk about it. But Shannon Sharpe, man, I want you to keep that same energy, man. So you guys let me know what y'all think down in the comments section of today's podcast. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces. And remember, on your way out the door before you put your shoes on, do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Like, comment, and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.